Well, since the beginning of the war on Gaza, Israel has attacked hospitals, as we've seen, religious centers and even schools. And this week, an UNRWA middle school in Beit Hanun in northern Gaza for children aged between 13 and 15 was blown up by demolition explosives. And that school was attended actually by Luay Abbasuni. He's a Palestinian-American engineer from Gaza who was, as I'm sure many of you will remember, part of the NASA Mars team that made history in 2021 when they flew a small helicopter called Ingenuity onto the red planet. And I'm very pleased to say that Luay joins me now in the studio. Fantastic to have you here. Now, Luay, you grew up in Gaza. You live in the US now. Beit Hanun is your hometown. And you've achieved incredible success professionally. When you saw your school there being blown up, how did that make you feel? I saw your tweet and it really touched me, but what went through your mind?
I mean, it's not the first time the school get hit. I mean, during the first few days of the war, I mean, my elementary school was one of the first schools got just, completely like bombed. I mean, I saw pictures like about a week ago of it. And so now it's just like, like seeing my middle school with actually like absolutely no explanation why after like Beit Hanun completely evacuated from civilians. And I think, I haven't really been hearing a lot of resistant fightings there anymore. And, actually they're demolishing the school, like by demolition explosive. And I've been hearing they've been demolishing a lot of houses, like systematically they're taking street by street, neighborhood by neighborhood. Honestly, I don't know. I don't even know how to say. I mean, like literally every single school I went to Gaza has been hit.
Really?
Even my high school is right next to a Shifa hospital.
Just looking at our images right now. Every single school you went to in Gaza has been hit. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And your parents are still in Gaza. How are they doing? When was the last time you spoke to them? Yeah,
so my parents still in Gaza, but I want to actually highlight one thing about the school because, there's a lot of things going in the media about, the miseducation and things like that. So growing up, going to another school, I remember our geography books, will have 5-6 pages missing, would actually would not have anything. Like you'd be like missing the section about Palestine.
Really?
Like we will not. The word Palestine was crushed out of every single word. So, so like systematically, we already been, by the education, by the UNRWA, they actually been not even allowing us to actually use anything like to refer to Palestine. So that was kind of my experience growing up there. So switching back to my parents, my parents still in Gaza. They're in Gaza City. They're in my dad's old clinic where he used to practice. And they miraculously survived yesterday a 3 direct artillery shell that hit our clinic. They are the only 2 people left there. The entire even neighborhood, almost all of them left. They cannot walk.
How old are they?
My dad is 75, but he had a back surgery last year. It went wrong. And he barely was able to get a walk. He had to get another surgery in Germany. That's after he got out of the surgery, he actually decided to go to Gaza because he thought he might not be able to go again because he's getting really old and he have heart condition. So they've been there. I spoke with them on December 1st. My mom called me the night of my birthday and then didn't talk to them until yesterday. They called us after the bombing. They're completely devastated. My dad was crying. My mom was crying. They're like dead bodies on the street. We lost my cousin in the same bombing.
A young boy.
Yes.
How old was he?
He's like 12.
So sorry.
They hit my great uncle staying at his parents-in-law's house. They got hit, and 3 of the kids got 2 got injured. They were trying to scramble to figure out how to do surgery. They actually went into the Mahmadani hospital, the Baptist hospital, that one that had the massacre at the beginning of the war. They were able to help him. I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea what's his status. But
so sad. It really is. And your parents, they're elderly. They have, as you said, health problems, and they're being told to evacuate.
So yeah, they evacuated the first day from Beit Hanun to Gaza, and then a lot of people went to Gaza City, but then they have no place to go. Literally, my parents thought it might be just like any other war that passed in Gaza, that they're gonna stop a few days. They could not go anywhere because honestly, even with them as a German citizen, I've been using all of my power to try to get their name approved on the border. I've been in a constant communication with the German Foreign Office, with the German embassy, and we got zero help. It took about 50 days for my parents' name to get approved on the border. I mean, I was seeing people's names who are not even dual citizens were allowed to leave, but my parents' name were never there. So like, until like, by the time their name was already, showed up, was like after the humanitarian pause, around that period. But we were like not able to even to tell them, but that time like the tanks are already, and you have to walk from like Gaza City all the way to the south. It's about 25 kilometers. I mean, which is kind of near impossible. I mean, my dad's like, I'm not gonna go die on the side of the road. I mean, he sees these images, he hears the stories. He hears the stories of the people like died at the border, at the crossing waiting. So to him, he felt that was a safer. And,
incredible.
And he's like, this is my home. Nobody's have the right to tell me to leave.
So Sadlwai, if I can move on to your career, you've had and are living through an amazing professional career. You've worked with NASA, and just as we said before, you worked with the Ingenuity rover, one of the scientists, one of the engineers that worked on the Ingenuity rover that went on to Mars. What obstacles, personal obstacles, professional ones, did you have to overcome to get to where you are?
Oh, I mean, a lot. I mean, the fact I was from Gaza, I mean, financially through college, it's extremely difficult. And also, like, establish yourself in another country. So, I mean, it takes a lot of time, a lot of years. So I got later start in my life, so to do something that make a difference in the world. So I believe, like, every person should do what they believe that would make a difference. That's what made me choose to work with, like, things that affect Earth. From the, I worked in renewable energy, started with, and then I switched to space, kind of hoping maybe I can make humans recognize Earth as one place. To me, I think that's given me hope. When we look at Earth from space. So, so that's always been my driving factor. I mean, I face difficulty all the time. I mean, I face difficulties now. I mean,
how do people react when they say you're Palestinian? How do you use your platform, your voice, your experience to maybe be a voice for Gaza?
I mean, just like people hear my humanitarian side. I mean, like people hear about my family. So I like to, people should be sharing more that we are humans, we are the same. I mean, there's absolutely no different. I think the biggest problem in the world that people like looking down at the people from Gaza or somewhere else. I mean, the thing is, people do not know the people from Gaza. People from Gaza have the most pride. We are hosting the last Gaza. I mean, I'm a Gazan national. I mean, I am originally from Gaza, and there's a lot of refugees in Gaza. But we have so much pride. We love Gaza so much.
And so highly educated as well.
It is. I mean, Gaza, it is the most highly educated in the world. And like, it's extremely sad that I heard, yesterday they assassinated the dean of the Department of Education in the University of Palestine. And, and the head of the Islamic University in Gaza. So, I mean, and he's into space science. He's astronomer. So, I mean, it's extremely, these things are like not losses to Palestinians. These are losses to humanity.
Absolutely. Losses to humanity. It really is. All right, we're going to have to end it there, but thank you so much for speaking to us, and I really hope your message, as you said, gets out through your humanity. Thank you so much for speaking to us here at TRT World.